Good lighting. I'm going to begin this video by tuning in, and if you would like to, if you're here present and you would like to, feel free to meditate and tune in, or you can skip ahead to the main portion of the reading. I'm feeling and acknowledging the presence of others tuning in as well, and receiving that, and also giving my love and support. Symbiotic win-win situations and relationships. Okay. Hello and welcome to my channel. I will introduce myself now. My name is Ridge, R-I-D-G-E, and I am a person on Earth, just like everybody else, based in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I am learning how to read tarot online to other people. I have some intentions set of what I'd like to do and what I am creating and achieving here by creating videos and posting them online. My intention is to create space to receive and to communicate divine messages that support and uplift, that enlighten, and that are accurate, that are purposeful and precise and accurate for the people who tune in and the people who are watching. And for me, the readings are also for me. I also receive a lot of wisdom and intuitive insight and guidance while providing the readings. But I'm setting the intention to learn how to read more for other people, to attract people to me who can benefit from the things that I have to say, or who like my energy, who like my vibration. As I go along, I would really like to pinpoint troubling issues that we are collectively dealing with or struggling with, and inviting and invoking higher good or help from the divine to have wisdom, words, messages, gestures, movements that help to enlighten, help to enlighten and help to uplift. And then definitely my intention is to attract a lot of people who are like-minded, like-hearted, who have that soul resonance and soul vibration, and to be able to share and collaborate with other people as well. For this video, I want to talk about overcoming obstacles, and I will essentially use the tarot as a conduit or a message vehicle to receive divine inspiration and insight. And I'll just be talking through the messages and learning how to communicate what it is that I see and learning how to tune into what is needed collectively. I'm going to start this video with the Apparition Tarot. It's beautiful and artistic and expressive. So the word that I use for overcoming obstacles or challenges, resolving challenges or issues, is transcendence, to transcend. And I think a lot of times in our lives we find repeating patterns that we didn't necessarily choose for ourselves, or that we might not have necessarily chosen, maybe things that happened or became instilled into our programming when we were children, things that we were taught that we have a hard time kind of seeing outside of at times. So I guess we're looking to gain higher perspective on how to transcend anything that's holding us back, or insight about obstacles and challenges, how to resolve them, and keeping it pretty general. Remembering that I'm just beginning reading, and I do trust what I say and I trust my intuition, but I also know that there are some things to learn along the way, some things to connect and to smooth out. So I call in the best for myself as well. Okay, we're starting the reading with the star at the bottom of the deck, which was there when we began. And we're talking about insight into obstacles, and we pull the first card. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. This tells me that we are in a place of abundance, a place of creative abundance. This would be practical creative ideas. This would be our heritage being really strong, and that there are gifts with our ancestors, with where we come from, and to begin by learning how to focus on the positive. There are usually problems or obstacles within families, within ancestral lines, and I think it's important to learn how to recognize the gifts that we are given, and learn how to recognize the optimistic possibilities or tools, resources that we can use and that we like, that resonate with us, to achieve success, to be happy, to fulfill desires, to create new projects and new ventures that resonate and that uplift. The next card is the Ace of Cups, and this is the emotional energy. We see that waters are flowing either in or out of the cup. So it's an emotional flow, an emotional process. It's seeing the potential in every challenge and obstacle. So every obstacle does have a learning potential in it, and we can also direct what we encounter and uplift what we encounter in our lives. So what I like to do is, if I'm feeling a lot of chaotic or negative energy coming in, I will take more time to care for myself, to meditate, and to make sure that I have tuned into my own energy. But I also set intentions to uplift my experiences. So this is a potential not only in each challenge and obstacle to confront, but to create a new view or perspective, and to trust one's own power to uplift one's experiences by taking care of oneself and uplifting one's attitude as well. It's important to learn that for oneself too, like what activities really do nurture and feed, and what do I need to provide time for so that I am not overwhelmed and so that I feel at peace. And then the next card, we have the Six of Pentacles, and we see money exchanging hands. So just like there's a flow of emotions in the cup, There's money or material potential exchanging hands. It's really about self-care on this. It's preparing oneself to confront life's challenges by taking care of oneself and getting oneself to the optimal energy needed to learn and to overcome and to overgrow or outgrow old patterns. It also points back to the potential in all things and being able to learn all things, but I believe that we're seeing maybe a need or desire to narrow one's focus or to tune into where we want our energy to go and where we want it coming from, so that then the challenges that we face have more purpose and we know we can connect to the divine essentially. And as we do so, our challenges have more purpose and we understand that each challenge has purpose, but we can guide ourselves and be more confident in all of our experiences so that we're choosing what we're encountering. We're not just going along with the flow or the current. So it's also a transmutation of watery emotional energy into earth and material energy, is that there is a lot of potential with all of these things that we have, every challenge that we face, anything that feels tough or rough. But my message apparently is about really learning how to turn the tables and learning how to tune into oneself to direct the flow of challenges that we face. I don't believe that pain is the way through. I believe that the way through is more about finding our bliss, finding our pleasure, finding our passion, what makes us feel alive and what makes us feel excited. And then the fourth card on this is the Strength card. And this does have a lot to do with challenges. It looks like she has some things that she's working through and wrestling with, and there's a lot of space being made through that. So I think it's an inner reconciliation as well. Challenges that we face in our life are usually a reflection of what we are working on, what is stored in our bodies, what our energy needs to experience in order to release. And I think that overall, if we're changing our attitude and tuning into ourselves, we'll be able to recognize the lessons being learned, and then that's when you get to kind of direct it a little bit better. Like, okay, this is what I keep getting stuck or trapped in, so this is what I've tried in the past. I'm going to reapproach it this way, in a new way or new pathway, so that I can not be stuck in these learning lessons that are kind of like uncomfortable. I want learning lessons, but I want them to be, the work is arduous. There's a lot to build. Sometimes life gets a little bit uncomfortable, but overall the learning lessons should be joyful, exciting, colorful, vibrant. And that's up to me. That's up to one's own philosophy and belief structure to provide that for oneself. It's like, how can I make myself happier? How can I approach life in a way that will provide more opportunities than challenges? And then we have the Temperance card. This card is a very angelic card, and in this one there's rest, there's balance, there's transformation. I think that recognizing when we want to transcend or what we want to transcend or overcome is important. Recognizing what is keeping us from our full potential as beings on the planet. This is, for me anyway, that when we face our challenges and we overcome into transformation of a new step, we inevitably learn how to overcome the process. But there are some processes that take a very long time to overcome. And if we can recognize where our energy is best used then we can redirect it so we're not stuck in never-ending processes of transformation and learning, so that we can, I guess some people call it like the karmic wheel or the karmic cycle. I see it like we can learn how to create a spiral and to improve our experiences and not be stuck in the same irritations or same grumbles or same fears or discomforts or pains. And then inevitably things will change for the better for us. There is an emphasis on the amount of work that it takes sometimes in the material world, but for me that's just why it's important to identify a passion. Like, what am I really willing to work toward? What am I willing to get uncomfortable for in order to learn and to overcome? And then what discomforts do I need to set aside because they're not providing the reward that I really need? Okay, so that's about obstacles and challenges with 5 cards from the Apparition deck. A lot of it had to do with mindset. So I think like right now I would be picturing my mind connecting to the rest of my body, because a lot of times I feel like my mind is the main focus or concentration. But if I connect it to the whole being, I feel a little bit better aligned. And then it allows for a better mindset. Right now I will dive into the Wild Unknown Tarot since we're here and we're reading. And I'm going to review some of the other questions that came up for me while I was brainstorming. So since we're talking about changing focus, I think it would be nice to start calling in this question, what are my abilities and natural gifts? So instead of focusing on the challenges, which will be there, we can learn how to redirect our energy. We can identify what really drives us and what we want to experience, and then we can find little ways to create that experience. Meaning, each action, if we set an intention with it, can help us toward our goal. So if you pick an action that helps you, like for me it would be meditation or deep breathing, you can set an intention for it to unconsciously help to like synthesize or to bring points together. I feel like I just like talked a random tangent and then I like it because I'm learning how to let myself speak better, but I always felt like I should have maybe the answer for everything, or that I should know what I'm talking about all the time. But with this type of stuff, I would imagine it would, like, I'd be learning how to make weird sounds with my mouth and just like really learning how to lean into the energy instead of trying to give like a prepared discourse. That's why we call in for higher power. And then we just trust that that divine nature is there with us. And we are focusing on what are abilities and natural gifts is essentially the topic. What are my abilities and natural gifts? It would be in general, like, how do I find out about my abilities and gifts? How do I focus on learning about myself and my abilities? What am I capable of doing? What are the possibilities in my life? If you're thinking about making a decision or choosing to begin a new path, it would be like, what are your natural gifts and how will that decision align with what you're naturally gifted in? And what do you want to experience? And then we have the question, how do I tune into my truth? And I think that it applies to the abilities and the gifts. I think all of us have just true mannerisms, true energetic functions that happen as we go about life. Some of them we're very aware of, and others we might not know about. So I do like the idea of asking about the possibilities, like what can I do, what can I create, what kind of life could I live, what are my gifts, what are my abilities. And we're ready to start drawing cards. The first card we get is the Mother of Pentacles. So we see comfort, natural rhythm is what I'd say. There's like protective energy, but there's also a comfort. I think the natural gifts and abilities are comfortable to express for the most part. Sometimes they do need to mature and to grow, but they usually come a little bit easier than other things do. It wouldn't be focused on challenges. It would be focused on natural rhythm and I guess harmonizing with higher power for, harmonizing with the magic within yourself. And that's a good start to this. That's a good way to probably identify what someone's good at. And even with tuning into the truth, there's rest and there's relaxation, and we can do this now, but I would just close my eyes and focus my attention on my body to tune into my truth. There's a lot of different ways. The Father of Wands, the cobra with the wand. Go after what you want. What are you ruthless about? It's like asking these questions that we might not normally ask ourselves. So like, what would I do at all costs to protect my family, for example? What are my limits? What are my motivations? What are my drives, my passions? And how do I get what I need? How do I get what I want? How do I protect myself? There's a lot of energy there. So that's instinctive energy. This is like the deer would be the relaxation energy. And then this is like the instinctive energy. And both pathways can show us different aspects of ourselves, aspects of our true gifts. Things that cause reactions with us, like instinctive reactions, will show us our natural tendencies and gifts, or what we want, what's lacking. These can all be indicators. The third card here is the Two of Wands. Getting some repeat cards from the previous readings, but it's good because that helps me develop these new pathways. So with this one, I would say we probably have a good indication of what our gifts are and what we really want. Sometimes they got covered up, sometimes they got forgotten about. But if we make the efforts to begin tuning in, to begin asking the question, to begin like feeling our bodies, being embodied, we will find pretty easily what our true motivations and passions are, and that will align with your gifts. What have you already developed will a lot of times make you excited for continuing to develop that. Sometimes our gifts are more under the surface, or we don't think about them, or we had to develop them for school or for work. And other times our gifts are instinctive and natural, and maybe something that we learned from our grandma in childhood, or from the neighbor down the street. So the path can be pretty easily clear, and if you've been kind of like misdirected or need redirection, it might take a little bit of work to figure out the steps to kind of like find your way back to find your way back to your soul center. But it usually involves still like purpose along the way, and it's not going to be as difficult as it seems. So for some of us, I think for most people, it'll be easy to know or easy to access if we do the work to ask and to inquire and to really be open to it, to know what we're truly gifted at and what our purpose is. And then I think for some people, it would be easier to get there, or they're already there. And for other people, it might be like they might have gotten steered off course a little bit by life, and that's fine. That happens a lot. Happened to me a lot. And through all of that, we learn and we become stronger and we grow, and then we have new resources or new tools to bring to our natural abilities. That was a lot already. I think that's a lot. I think that's good. A good little 3-card reading about that. Okay, here I am. If you felt good vibes, feel free to subscribe and to like. Feel free to support me any way that you can, and I will continue this path and this journey. I'm actually really excited about it, and hopefully I can do some good in the world with this. Till next time.